Welcome to Trading to Rise. So many traders think the key to success is finding that one perfect strategy or that magic indicator. But what if I told you the biggest battle you'll ever face isn't with the market? It's with your own mind. Today, we're kicking off a masterclass on a topic that truly separates the consistently profitable traders from everyone else: the psychology of mastering the mental game.
Now, I want you to be really honest with yourself for a second. Have you ever looked at a chart, seen a setup, and just felt this incredible rush of excitement? That little voice in your head starts whispering, hey, this is it. This is the one. This could be the trade that changes everything. Of course you have. We all have. That dream of financial freedom is powerful. It's probably what brought you here. But here's the truth, and it's a tough one. That beautiful dream is also the single most dangerous mental trap in all of trading. And today, we're going to pull it apart and understand exactly why. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. First, we're going to look at the huge gap between the dream of the market and the cold, hard reality. Then we'll dive into how your mind creates this dangerous filter that literally blinds you to what's right in front of you. After that, we're going to dissect the anatomy of a big loss, step by painful step, so you can see it coming from a mile away. And finally, we'll lay out the path to objectivity, which is the real secret to long-term consistent profit. So to really get a grip on this psychological danger, let's start by comparing trading to something we all understand: a casino game. Now, on the surface, they seem kind of similar, right? You're putting money on the line, hoping to make more, but when you look underneath, they are completely different worlds. And that difference is exactly where the trap is set for the untrained mind. Just think about it for a second. When you play a game like roulette in a casino, everything is spelled out for you. The rules are fixed. Your risk is known and defined. It's the chips you put on the table and not a penny more. Your wager is fixed, and you know the exact potential payout if you win. The market, though, it's the total opposite. When you click that buy or sell button, your real risk is actually unknown. Your potential loss can keep growing and growing if you don't manage it. And here's the big one. You have absolutely no idea what the potential payout could be. There's no fixed limit. And this right here, this quote really hits the nail on the head. This fundamental uncertainty, this unknown factor, is what makes the market so attractive, but also what makes it so dangerous. See, a roulette wheel has a limited set of outcomes, but the market is this wide-open, free-flowing environment. There are no preset limits on how high a stock can go or how low it can fall, and it's this feature, this illusion of unlimited potential, that gives our mind the permission it needs to create this fantasy of a life-changing win on every single trade. So we have this belief in unlimited profit, this little seed of a dream that the market itself plants in our minds. But how does that actually mess with us when we're in a live trade? Well, this is where our own brain starts to work against us. It creates a powerful and totally invisible filter that literally changes the information you're allowed to see. And here's the critical moment it all goes wrong. The second you enter a trade with the deep down belief that this is the one, you stop being a trader. You stop being an objective analyst of the market. Instead, you've become a protector of your dream. You are now emotionally attached to one specific outcome, and your brain, wanting to keep that good feeling alive, starts to filter reality for you. And this mental filter has just one job: find any piece of information, no matter how tiny, that supports your belief that this trade is a winner. It will find every green candle, every positive article, and magnify it. At the same time, it will deny, ignore, and explain away all the bad news. The chart could be screaming at you that you're on the wrong side of the market, that the real opportunity is in the other direction, but you literally will not see it. You can't see it, because your mind's filter is busy protecting that beautiful dream. So what's the end result of trading through this filter of hope? It leads straight to the one thing that destroys more trading accounts than anything else: that one catastrophic, account-blowing loss. So let's actually walk through the emotional journey of how this happens. Because once you understand this downward spiral, you can learn to stop it before it even begins. It almost always plays out in these 4 stages. First up is hope. You're in your dream trade and the price starts moving against you. But instead of seeing that as objective information, your mind just says, oh, don't worry, it's just a small dip. It's going to come roaring back any second now. You're only imagining the best case scenario. Then that morphs into denial. The loss gets bigger. It goes right past where you told yourself you'd get out, but you're frozen. You're ignoring the growing red number on your screen because your mind is clinging to that first belief. You're denying what's really happening. And that leads to overwhelm. The loss is now so big that the pain is it's unbearable.
the fear of losing even more money finally becomes stronger than the hope of it ever coming back. And that leads to the final, crushing stage, capitulation. You just can't take it anymore. You hit the close button and you lock in a loss so huge you never ever thought you would let that happen. And it all started with that one simple, dangerous hope.
Okay, so that's the problem. And I know it sounds pretty scary, but here's the good news. There is a solution. There is an antidote to this destructive cycle. It just requires a really big psychological shift in how you look at the market. It's all about learning to trade the market that's actually there, not the one you wish was there.
The solution is what we call objective perception. Now, that sounds like a fancy term, but all it really means is seeing the market for what it is, without your hopes and fears coloring the picture. And how do you do that? It starts with one single conscious decision. You have to let go of the need for any one trade to be the one that changes your life. This right here, this is probably one of the most important mental shifts you will ever make as a trader. Before you place your next trade, I want you to literally say this out loud to yourself. This is just one trade. It is one of 1,000 trades I'm going to take. The outcome of this single trade does not define me as a trader. My only job here is to execute my plan and manage my risk. The moment you let go of that intense pressure for this one trade to be your lottery ticket, you turn off that dangerous mental filter, and you can finally start to see the market with true clarity. So let's lock in the key takeaways from today. First, you have to remember that the market's unlimited potential is a psychological trap, not a practical strategy. Second, you have to understand that your deepest beliefs, especially the hope for a dream trade, create a filter that changes what you see. Third, recognize that those huge, painful losses, they almost always start with that tiny seed of hope for a single big winner. And finally, the most powerful lesson of all, true objectivity, which is the key to consistency, only begins when you can surely let go of that hope and focus on your process instead. And that leaves us with one final, very powerful question that I want you to carry with you. The next time you sit down at your screen, before you place a trade, I want you to pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself this honestly. Are you about to trade the market that is actually in front of you, or are you about to trade your hopes? The answer to that one question could change your entire trading career. So here's your homework. Go apply these lessons. Before your very next trade, take that moment, ask yourself that question. Consciously release the need for it to be the one. I promise you, if you can do that, you will start to see the market with a clarity you've never had before. Thanks so much for joining me in this masterclass. Make sure you subscribe to Trading to Rise because you are not going to want to miss the next episode in this series where we continue our journey of mastering the mental game.